What I tell you today is, obviously, the release went out. I'm officially done my role on February 21st, 2025. There's 3 months, obviously, still to do work. I've been asked by the Commission to ensure that the momentum that we've managed to achieve continues on and that we actually prepare ourselves well for what's to come in the future. The biggest thank you that I want to give, there's two of them actually. The first one is to the men and the women of the Edmonton Police Service. You know, I'm not going to say when you have an organization of 3,000 people that we all think or agree with the direction we're going, but what I can say is their support and their ability to carry out the mission to achieve results has not wavered. And for that, I'm forever grateful to not just have the opportunity to lead them, but also to have the opportunity to work shoulder and shoulder with them and to see them in some very, very difficult times in policing. Let's be honest, somebody that's been in the public service in the role of a leadership for over 20 years, I can honestly say I haven't seen anything like this in my life. And the good part is, as we move forward, we've moved forward as a team, and that's something that I don't take credit for. The credit belongs to them. The second part is the citizens of Edmonton. Just the honor to have been able to serve as your police chief, the support that you've given to me. Honestly, I didn't know what would happen when you retire from a large service like this, but the literally hundreds, maybe even more, emails, texts, and phone calls from all over North America has been overwhelming. And I do want to tell those that might see this that I will try to get back to each and every one, but it's humbling, but it's also been very overwhelming. When I speak about the public, I want to be very clear. I'm not speaking about the activists on social media that spread mis or inaccurate information that actually put the risk of my officers in harm some days with that information. And that particular part is not something that I'm going to miss, because I just don't think there's any rule or any role for that misinformation in any type of community safety or, you know, for anything when safety of individuals is involved. The hardest day of my life, honestly, and for my leadership team, is when we lost Constables Travis Jordan and Constables Brett Ryan. It's a call that no police chief ever wants to get, never mind anybody of any police service or organization. Lives of families turned upside down. Members' wellness jeopardized, all for a senseless act. Lastly, before we get to questions, I just want to talk about, we went from some really good progressive times to some very tumultuous times. At the heart of that was COVID, but really on the other side of it was the George Floyd incident in Minneapolis. And it made the lives of our members very hard to go to work some days. But again, the public support that you showed us when it really needed makes that a lot easier to carry on. We've secured some things, you know, with funding formula back in place to actually make some stable investments in what we need to do to keep our citizens safe. And as a result, our crime rate is spiraling downward. Our violence in relation to gun violence is down 46%, which ultimately tells me that we have the momentum to continue this direction. And that's why I make this decision today. Very hard. I still realize, and I know you know, that I still have roughly 18 months left in my contract. But I always have believed is you need to know when to move on, and you need to know when you need to turn it over to those that you've helped build the futures.